and welcome to the second game of the 2026 Retro Gaming Weekly World Cup quarterfinals. Today it's the United States versus the Ivory Coast. Let's see who will win this one. The United States has been on a tear. This is an equal game. I mean, USA wound up pulling out one against the Netherlands. Was not actually expecting that. But let's see what happens today. Alright, we're going to actually make this a hot night, wherever this game is. And we'll play as the Americans. Now, the Ivory Coast have been playing well, too. And really, they're my hometown team this World Cup because, as I've stated in other videos they've been playing in, Ivory Coast was actually staying in my hometown of Wilmington, Delaware, and practicing at Subaru Park in Chester, Pennsylvania, home of the Philadelphia Union MLS team. But here we go. Let's get started for this night match between the USA and the Ivory Coast. Here we go. Ronaldo passes to Lassiter to start the game. 22 seconds in, Lassiter is running it in. Gets into the Ivorian 18, takes the shot just high of the net. Just way too high. Konate, the Ivory Coast goalkeeper, gets ready to take the shot for the goal kick. What's Lassiter doing so far up there? He's tracking back. Here we go. There it is. He knows better. Konate's not gonna, do a short ball. Ouattara gets it, but Pope is all over the back of him, ready to just steal the ball with a little flick through shot. Perfect timing. Dooley gets it down the field. Gets ready, takes the shot, just wide of the net. 6 minutes in, U.S. is just dominating the play, but Konate, the goalkeeper, gets ready for another goal kick. Here we go. Let's see what he can do. Boots it down the field. There it is, down the field. Here it comes, and it's in, and Lalas, America's favorite soccer commentator. And I can say that with as much sarcasm as I want. Gets the ball to Lassiter. Yeah, honestly, Alexi Lalas, America loves soccer as Lassiter scores the goal. 10 minutes in, USA is up 1-0. The thing about Alexi Lalas being a soccer commentator, back when the MLS, was in its post-Beckham phase where they were trying to keep, everything kind of going. You needed a guy like Alexi Lalas being like, yeah, smash mouth soccer and all that, and the United States needs to do better and blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. I don't know now. I mean, look at how many people have gotten excited about this World Cup. I don't think we need Alexi Lalas to, act like, John Madden or Terry Bradshaw for soccer in America anymore. I feel like we could actually get just normal soccer people to talk about it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we could really definitely get, guys who are not Alexi Lalas to talk about it as Lassiter passes to Ramos, who passes to Wijnaldum. But, I mean, I'm really surprised how the World Cup's gone this year. It looked, I'm sad the U.S. lost to Belgium. I really am. But, it happens. I mean, look at what we've done. Hopefully, we always talk about, if we had a better youth program here in the United States for it. Maybe the fact that we have this World Cup actually going for it, and the men have played fantastic this World Cup, so I really can't fault them for that at all. But maybe it's time we actually talk about investing in that youth program. I mean, if we're all, riding this wave of patriotism about, United States soccer. Maybe it's time we start using some of that patriotism, get some money from, these billionaires who basically run our country, and fund U.S. soccer absolutely properly, and maybe start making fools of the international community, in the lead up to the 2030 World Cup. This is our chance to do an actual building block of, playing this. USA has 3 shots on target this match. This is actually pretty good. Ivory Coast only has 1. The U.S. defense is doing a great job getting into the U.S. offense. They're always playing, just perfect football at the moment. But, I think what we can honestly do is, actually go somewhere with, U.S. soccer as a whole. Like, we can stop making jokes about, U.S. soccer. We've actually achieved so much this World Cup, and, maybe it'll actually get people to turn out for MLS, too. Not that, people aren't turning out for MLS. Philadelphia, despite our team feeling like they draft goalkeepers every year. I feel like we have a team of 11 goalkeepers on the field. The Sons of Ben are diehards, but maybe, to borrow a term out of, gaming, filthy casuals, might actually start going to games. I would love to go see Portland Timbers. Honest to God. Them are the Sounders. Just the soccer culture they have there. I'm not even surprised at how big it is down in Atlanta. They really took it on and went, this is what we want to do. Kanate comes out for the goal kick. I was not really expecting this from, Atlanta, since they have, football and baseball. To be perfectly fair, I wasn't actually expecting it from Philadelphia either when it came out. I legitimately remember when the Union started, I didn't even know that we were getting an MLS team. And this was probably 2008 or 2009. Maybe a little bit sooner than that. I saw an ad on the TV, support the Sons of Ben, and my immediate first thought was, oh, so this is going to be a white nationalist group. I don't know why that's the first thing. I'm 14 years old, and that was the first thing that popped into my head was oh, it's some domestic terrorism. Should we really be looking into the Sons of Ben? They're advertising on TV. Is this Al-Qaeda? I wasn't even thinking, oh, it's a supporters group for new soccer, thing. I really was oh, this is domestic terrorism. What is this nonsense? And I kept seeing it on the TV and, people talking about it, and it's what is this nonsense? Surprisingly, the Ivory Coast has really been taking possession, but it's still a pretty even possession for the most part. Traore gets his foot on the ball. Casey Keller with the save. 5 shots on target for the United States, 2 for the Ivory Coast. We're heading into injury time. I can't imagine there's too many, shots left. As Dadi gets it, and they blow the whistle. Players come off. Let's look at how this is. U.S. leads 1-0. 8 attempts on goal, 5 shots on target for the Americans. 2 attempts on goal, 2 shots on target for the Ivory Coast. U.S. is marching towards the, bottom round, not the bottom rounds, but, the deep rounds of this World Cup. Hopefully it doesn't end like the Oceangate submarine. Although I am using a knockoff Xbox controller to play this, so you never know. Aka gets it. Lalas gets it back. But I don't feel like we need, commentators to make soccer sound, exciting like this in the United States. Trying to whip up more excitement than there actually is in soccer on the in like MLS and stuff now. Hopefully the product everybody's seen on the field can lead us to, doing great things. As Ronaldo scores a goal, 49th minute. Ronaldo celebrates, falls to the ground, all happy. Just a great pass out there. Dooley gets it over to Ronaldo. Ronaldo just runs it in, makes, just cuts around the defenders, flicks it in the bottom of the goal. Perfect goal. But I feel like, what we basically need to just do is have, homegrown, hopefully continue this homegrown momentum. Like, hey, the World Cup's over, but hey, here's MLS. If you haven't seen this, give this a try. I mean, it's, we're building on it. We're getting there. I mean, it's been around 30 years. We should have really had this built by now. But when you think about, as Kawasi is offside, U.S. gets the free kick. But if you think about it, the NASL only lasted, 16 years before it failed in the 80s. And, at a time, soccer was actually huge, but really it was because we had, Pele playing for the Cosmos. And, rich imported stars coming in. Like, MLS is kind of doing everything kind of right, and they're making strides. I would just like to see more from them, frankly. Personally, what I would really like to see is promotion relegation in American soccer, but I know that would just, blow everybody's mind away if, oh no, the LA Galaxy lost and they're being relegated to the bottom of the thing as Ronaldo scores. Again, they're being relegated to the second league. Yeah, that probably would not go well. But I mean, I like the way MLS is run. I think it's, a decent way of doing things. Hopefully we can continue to grow it. Just a perfect ball from Lavas down to Ronaldo, who once again just does the exact same thing, but puts it right down the middle with a nice curve. Just absolutely perfect there. Down the field. Pope gets it to Lavas. Dow gives it up. It's 3-0 United States. Reyna gets his foot on the ball and knocks it out for an Ivory Coast throw-in. 70 minutes gone almost. Can the Ivory Coast pull it together to score 3 goals? Probably not. Down the field. It just seemed like the right way of getting that out of there. Konate's going to collect the ball very slowly and gets ready to make a kick. 8 shots on target for the United States, 4 for the Ivory Coast. Yeah, this is actually, I mean, honestly, I am FIFA'd out. 47 matches in the space of like 4 weeks. Yeah, that is quite a bit. But I mean, how am I going to complain? I get to play video games and then I put them up on YouTube. Like, I would like to have more views on these things, but at least, I'm doing something. I'm doing something creative, and that's kind of all that really kind of matters. Down the field it goes. Lassiter gets it down there. Kuwame gets it. Passes it up to Watara. Keller makes the grab. Kicks the ball back downfield. Winalda boots it in there. Konate makes the save. 80 minutes gone, 3-0 USA. Kawase gets it, boots it in there. Keller makes the save. 81 minutes gone. Back downfield. Dadi is able to outflank Winalda to get the ball back. Pope gets his foot on and flicks it back downfield. Aka gets it. Winalda gets it back from Aka. Runs it in there. Gets ready. Takes the shot. Kanade makes the save. "85 minutes gone. Kanade takes the shot, gets it down there. C gets it out on the wing. Agus gets it, gets the turnover. Dadi. Kawase. Watara. Keller gets his hands around the ball. Gets ready and makes the flick. Lassiter has has everything on the ball. Balboa gets his foot on it. Tomorrow will be Scotland versus Croatia and Japan versus France down the quarterfinals. I've decided if I'm going to do the semis on Thursday, or just wait till next week, but we'll come with something. Watara is offside, the play breaks down. US gets a free kick in injury time. Let's see what happens. Everybody's kind of pushed forward for the Ivory Coast. Aka gets the ball, passes it down. Keller gets it, and there was a substitution. Lubiai comes in for somebody, I don't even know who. And that's the game. 3-0 United States. Man of the match will definitely be Keller, since he had a clean sheet. Alright, so USA moves on to the semis. 3 goals, 13 attempts on goal, 10 shots on target. Keller definitely gets man of the match for that performance. Although really, Winalda should definitely get it, but that's okay. 9 attempts on goal, 9 shots on target for the Ivorians. They just couldn't break through the US defense. Keller gets the clean sheet. Alright, well thank you so much for watching. My name, of course, is Jack Coburn. I really do appreciate you watching this. Please do like and subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified of our next video. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. This has been a presentation of Alsatian Productions. Yes!